My wife texted me at 9:14 on a Friday night. "Staying at my sister's tonight. She's having a rough week. Don't wait up." I typed back 2 words. Sweet dreams. What she didn't know was that I'd already called her sister 3 days earlier, just to check in, and her sister had laughed and said, "Rough week? I haven't seen Christine in almost a month." 2 days after that text, I had divorce papers delivered to a location my wife genuinely never saw coming, and it had nothing to do with her sister's house at all. My name is Derek. My wife, Christine, and I had been married 6 years. For most of that time, her relationship with her older sister, Olivia, was one of the steadiest, most ordinary parts of our life together. Monthly dinners, weekend phone calls, the kind of sisterly closeness that made it completely normal when Christine started saying, a few months back, that she was crashing at Olivia's place some nights to support her through a rough patch in her own marriage. I never questioned it at first. Why would I? Olivia and her husband had genuinely been having problems for over a year. It made sense Christine would want to be there for her. The first crack appeared almost by accident. I called Olivia directly one afternoon just to check in myself, partly out of genuine concern and partly, I think, because some small part of me wanted independent confirmation of what I was already being told second-hand. Olivia answered, sounding completely normal, and when I asked how she was holding up with everything going on, she sounded confused. "What do you mean? Things have actually been pretty good lately." I asked carefully if Christine had been staying over much to help her through things. Olivia laughed, genuinely puzzled. "Staying over? I haven't seen Christine in almost a month, Derek. Is everything okay?" I told her everything was fine, made some excuse about mixing up details, and hung up feeling like the floor had quietly shifted under a marriage I'd assumed was on solid ground. I didn't confront Christine that night. I wanted to understand the actual shape of what was happening before I said a single word that might tip her off, that I already knew her cover story didn't hold up. Over the following 2 weeks, I paid closer attention to details I'd previously taken at face value. Her nights at Olivia's always happened on nights I had early meetings the next morning, conveniently timed so I wouldn't easily verify anything in person. She started leaving her laptop logged out of our shared family calendar, something she'd never bothered with before. Her phone, which had shared location with mine since the first year we were together as a basic safety habit, mysteriously stopped updating, due to a settings glitch she promised to fix, and never did. I didn't push her to fix it. I didn't need to. The fact that it had stopped working at almost exactly the same time her Olivia visits started told me plenty on its own. I hired a private investigator, a calm, methodical woman named Patricia, who specialized in exactly this kind of quiet verification work. I gave her the dates of Christine's next claimed visit to her sisters and asked her simply to confirm, discreetly, where Christine actually went. Patricia called me 2 days later with everything I needed and, frankly, more than I wanted. Christine hadn't gone anywhere near Olivia's house. She'd driven directly to a hotel about 25 minutes from our home, the same hotel. Patricia confirmed through a brief conversation with the front desk under a plausible pretext, where she'd checked in under her own name on 3 separate occasions over the past month. She wasn't alone. Patricia had photos of Christine meeting a man in the lobby each time. Someone I recognized immediately once I saw his face clearly. Brett, Christine's college boyfriend, someone she'd reconnected with the previous year after he moved back to our city for a new job. Someone I'd actually met once at a casual group dinner and thought nothing of at the time. I sat with that information for almost a full day before deciding what to do with it. I wasn't interested in a screaming confrontation in our kitchen, the kind that accomplishes nothing except giving the other person time to construct a better excuse. I'd already decided somewhere in that quiet day of processing everything that I wasn't interested in salvaging this marriage. I just wanted to handle the end of it on my own terms, deliberately, instead of reactively. I met with a divorce attorney the very next morning and explained the entire situation, including Patricia's documentation. My attorney suggested, given Christine's pattern of using her sister's house as a cover story, that there was a particularly fitting way to ensure she received the papers somewhere she couldn't pretend to misunderstand or delay responding to. That Friday, almost a week after Patricia's report, Christine texted me exactly the message I'd been half expecting by then. "Staying at my sister's tonight. She's having a rough week. Don't wait up." I typed back, "Sweet dreams," and meant it in a way Christine had absolutely no context to understand yet. I already knew, because Patricia had confirmed it again that same afternoon, that Christine had checked into the same hotel an hour earlier, room 214, with Brett already waiting in the lobby when she arrived. I didn't drive over there myself. I'd already decided, with my attorney's help, exactly how I wanted Christine to receive the news that our marriage was legally over. Not through a phone call, not through a tense conversation at our kitchen table, but through a process server, hired that same evening, sent directly to room 214 of that hotel. I found out what actually happened that night from the process server's own incident report, which my attorney shared with me the following week as part of the official filing documentation. Christine answered the door of room 214 at 10:42 that night, expecting room service or, more likely, simply not expecting anyone at all. The process server confirmed her identity, handed her the divorce filing, and left, exactly as professionally and unceremoniously as that job is designed to happen. Christine called me almost immediately afterward, her voice somewhere between furious and panicked, demanding to know how I knew where she was, how I'd had papers delivered to that exact room, in that exact hotel, on that exact night. I told her the truth, calmly. "You've been using your sister's name as a cover story for over a month. I called Olivia 3 weeks ago. She hadn't seen you once. I just made sure the papers found you somewhere you couldn't pretend was a misunderstanding." She didn't have much to say after that. What was there left to argue, really, once the cover story itself had been the thing that exposed her? Olivia found out about all of it within days, partly from me directly, partly from Christine's own scrambled attempt to get ahead of the story with her sister before I could. Olivia, understandably, wasn't thrilled to learn she'd been used as a months-long alibi for an affair she had absolutely nothing to do with. Their relationship, from what I understand, took a real hit that hasn't fully recovered even now. The divorce itself moved relatively quickly once the initial shock wore off. There wasn't much left to fight over once the underlying dishonesty was this clearly documented. Christine and Brett are apparently still together, for whatever that's worth to either of them long term. I didn't choose that hotel room as the delivery location out of cruelty, even though I understand exactly how it reads that way on the surface. I chose it because I was done receiving curated half-truths about where my own wife actually was on any given night, and I wanted the end of our marriage to be defined by the same unavoidable clarity that her lies had spent months avoiding. Sweet dreams meant something very different to me than it did to her that night, and honestly, I'm at peace with that. Some lies only survive as long as the person telling them assumes nobody's actually checking. I checked, and once I did, there simply wasn't anywhere left for either of us to pretend. If this story got to you, the next chapter is even more unexpected. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss it.